that big moment. I don't know why it snuck up on me. It's got a big purple highlight on it. And there was one other thing that I want to make sure. There's one place where my rhythm got funny, but I'm not quite sure what happened. I think it's a pacing thing. So I'm just going to mark that. I was going to start working on it from the beginning and talk about the things that are in my head so that I can get them out of my head and start playing it better. The first thing I thought of was this forte here. In the second line, I don't think I want that decrescendo, or at least not much of one, because I think this should still be forte at the end, so that that piano is a subito piano. I think that other decrescendo is just kind of meant to show phrasing. So if anything, it's like a mini decrescendo. So maybe I'm not cutting it out completely, but I'm putting it in parentheses because it's not a big deal. I don't think this is a subito mezzo forte. So I think there's a bit of a crescendo into it. And I think it's okay to kind of follow the natural line on all these eighth notes. And let me try that much. Kind of like the first half of this study. I mean, it's not really... I feel like this one almost has like one longer section and two smaller sections, but maybe I'm thinking of it incorrectly. I am going a bit slower than the height suggested tempo, but I'm okay with my current tempo, so I'm not going to change it too much. There, note-wise. Right, get that in. I don't know about you all, but I feel like that measure with the Rick kind of comes out of nowhere. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm not really going to a cello rondo, but I'm going to push forward a bit. And I think I'm going to change it just a little so that the writ happens less right there and more like right here. Because it feels very abrupt and like I don't have quite enough time to phrase that correctly. I'm going to try that differently, actually. I don't like that idea that I just had. I'm going to do something different. I really feel like it should pull back a bit here, but if it's going to do that, it must be suddenly faster there, and then pull back even more. Something like that, I think. So it's going to be more things quicker, but I think if I do it right, it'll work. I think that could be headed in the right direction. It's one of those things I think I'll take a few times through to really feel like I've got that under my fingers and it's pacing it in a way that sounds organic, but I think that's more like what I'm going to want. do just fine, I feel like, with 6/8, but sometimes in 6/4, I do really weird things with the counting that I don't understand, and it takes a little practice. Oh, I know what I'm doing now. Yeah, I'm holding that too long. Yeah, it's going to get a little bit better now. We'll go back to the beginning now. So there's this line that you can kind of see right here. It looks from this other edition like there's nothing there. I think that's just like a smudge, like a printing error. So we're just going to ignore that. It's not a slide or a gliss or anything like that. There wouldn't be such things in Rose anyway, but I could see how that could be confusing. If anything, if it was printed intentionally, which I don't really think it was, it probably would just mean like to connect those two notes, or it might be kind of like an indicator of that kind of weird interval. It's really not weird though, so I think it's just a printing error is all that is. But if that looks confusing, I apologize. Let's go back to the beginning and break this into chunks a little bit more. I'm going to put the metronome on for a bit. I don't know when I go quite this fast. I might slow it down. Works. I think I would probably prefer it closer to quarter note equals 50, but I wouldn't be opposed to that slightly quicker tempo. But for today, I think I'm going to change it and do it slower. Tempo better, but maybe at the end I'll try it the faster tempo and then compare. So I think the first phrase is pretty easy and pretty self-explanatory. As long as it ends strongly. I guess you could make a case for ending it softly, but I think I like the contrast of the forte headed towards the piano. Change my mind again. I think I want a little bit of like a terraced dynamics moment, and unless I'm fully botching my musical terms and definitions, terraced dynamics are when you step up or step down instead of having these gradual changes, crescendo, decrescendo, or diminuendo. You kind of, it's like stairs, like stepping your way up. Instead of before we had this kind of like natural up and down, I think instead I want to step up. So this first one is like piano plus, and then mezzo piano. So I just invented a new dynamic somewhere between piano and mezzo piano. We're going to call it piano plus. And so it should work like this. I think I could do that softer, so I'm going to go a bit softer. I hope that sounded like it made sense. It should sound more subtle, and it should be staggered. I'm going to do it one more time, see if I can do a better job of illustrating that. sure I have like a little bit of tenuto on that F sharp because I don't want to rush into these eighth notes. You know, I've played that both ways, and I'm wondering if, I was wondering correctly. The height addition corrects this to an E natural, which I think sounds better. I made a point to play E flat before, even though I was pretty sure it should be E natural, and it didn't sound quite right, so I think this is better. Mr. Height and I are on the same page. So the lower E is an E natural, but the higher one is an E flat. I'm going to come back and do that, pacing that writ again later after I work towards the end. So let's go on to the next phrase. I know this looks funny, but I realized kind of while I was playing before that is a triplet, and I can see how that looks confusing if you're reading it for the first time. But the only way that works out mathematically is if those 3/8 notes are also a triplet. I think you're meant to imply that because of the way it's beamed, but if you're like me, and that's a bit confusing sometimes, make sure you mark it. I'm going to go back to the beginning of that phrase one more time. I did want to make a lot of that crescendo, so I want to make a lot of that one. Interesting how there's not that decrescendo written like there is in the second line. So I want to treat that kind of the same way, but this being kind of a subito piano. But this, I want to make sure that crescendo is nice and big because that forte is an important moment, as is this change back to piano. I'm going to do that stretch one more time. That wasn't a very nice transition. Yeah, I think that's better pacing wise. I'm going to keep going through to the end. I think I got that rhythm right that time. Yeah, that rhythm is tricky. One of my biggest pieces of advice if you're working on this is to make sure that you're ready for that when you get there. That ending will be nicer without the metronome. Let's get back to the ending. I'm starting pickups to the last bar of the third line from the end. That's a better way to say that. So I was thinking about that before. I want this to be a decrescendo so that we have the last statement of this little motive to still be piano. So I think a little bit of like crescendo here would be appropriate. Yeah, I think that'll work. I need a breath though. I think I might take it here, even though that's a little weird. So that was that little turnaround there. That connection between those two notes, the low G and the E flat, was not as tidy as I would like it. Yeah, that sounds nicer with the metronome, so I do plan to pull it back a little bit at the end. And I think a little bit of, just a very little bit of this at the end, but I don't want to get really any louder than that piano plus that I invented earlier. I didn't invent that. Okay, so let's go back to the top without the metronome and see if I can pace all these things correctly. So I like adding in that breath. I think that kind of helps stop me from crashing in to that measure with the retard. And I'm going to continue to take that quick breath there. I'm going to check in with my tempo and my time. I think I'm going to go ahead and play through it